what is love? You know, there are many movies that show love. There are many songs that talk about love. Great, but I want to know a little bit more. And as a Christian, I decide to just go into my Bible and just to hear what it says about love. And I just wanted to share this very briefly with you, because sometimes we don't always understand the full depth of love. And it says that love is kind, forgiving, doesn't rejoice in evil, but in truth. Love is patient. Love is long-suffering. Love doesn't dishonor. It isn't proud. It's not selfish. Love keeps no record of wrong. Love protects. Love trusts. It hopes. It perseveres. And then finally it says, love never fails. So, as we walk about in our day-to-day life, not just in our romantic relationships with our partners, but as we go about in our relationships with our brothers, our sisters, our friends, I like to use this as a checklist. Am I being unforgiving towards you? If I'm being unforgiving towards you as a friend, perhaps I'm not using that love that I'm meant to have for you, so then I know that, hold on, I know I love you as a friend. I'm a little bit unforgiving. So I'm now going to choose to forgive you because I love you. Love isn't selfish. It's okay to be selfish sometimes. We have to think about ourselves sometimes. But sometimes love is a sacrifice. And sometimes we have to sacrifice our own desires, our own pleasures for the sake of somebody that we love. I'm sure, perhaps for some of you, you know, work might have been calling upon you today, family members might have been calling upon you today to do something else. But because of the love that you have for Debbie and Toby, you've decided to be here today. You've decided to sacrifice doing other things so you can celebrate with Debbie and Toby on this day. I know the Greeks, they have 4 different types of love that they have come up with. And after reading and looking at it, I actually agree with them, and I think it helps me to understand a little bit more about the different types of love that there are. We have a filial love, or the Greeks say a phileo, which is a love that you have for your friend. They have agape love. They talk about agape love, which is a very selfless love. So it's like we're saying that sometimes in love that we have to take self out of the equation. We have to take self out of the picture for the sake of the person that we declare that we love. I may want to go out tonight, but because you are calling upon me to stay in, because I'm not feeling very well, I'm going to stay in. And the reason I'm staying in tonight is because I love you. It's that selfless love. Then we have eros love. They talk about eros love, which is a romantic love. A love that you find when you finally meet somebody and you're dating for a while, and it's very exciting, it's very passionate. You have that eros love. And I see it, that's a seed. And I see love as a seed. So you have eros love. That seed is planted. Starts off as very passionate, very exciting. But then it will grow. And the final one I have is storge. Storge love. Which is love that you have for your family. So there are these main 4 types of love that we have. And it's knowing which love are we having towards somebody. Are we a expressing that love the way it should be expressed. There is something that I learned, I came across many years ago, and it's called the 5 love languages. And I think these are great to use in any relationship. Again, not just a romantic relationship with your partner, but with your brother and your sister, but they really relate more so for a romantic love, for the love that you have for your husband, your wife, your partner, whoever it be. The first one that I see is a love language of gift. Then you have a love language of words. You have a love language of touch. You have a love language of time. And you have a love language of service. And briefly looking at these, and with my own examples, my own experiences that I've had, and looking at other people and talking to those that have been in long-term relationships, those that are already married, that when you're with somebody, your love language will not be the same as perhaps the person you're with. Guarantee that both of you, I'm sure, in a relationship, will have a love language of words. Words are so powerful. We always like to hear, I love you. Oh, how you done well today. I'm very proud of you. We say these words to our children. But it's so important to say these words to the ones we're in love with, because it causes them to remember. Every day is a new day. And every day we feel different. Some days we're not going to feel as good as we did yesterday. So sometimes we need to hear these words, I love you. How you've done well today. Oh, I thank you for cooking that food today. Oh, how that was wonderful. I thank you that you decided to stay home and look after the children. For me, when you could have gone out. These words are so powerful. And what they do, they feed the seed of love. I told you that love is a seed. And love grows. Love can die. And the way that we can continue to keep that seed alive is continue to water it with words of affirmation. So powerful. Go away. And you do it with the ones you love. And see what happens. You have a love language of a gift. And the thing is, we don't always know our own love language. Sometimes we have to experience things for ourselves to know actually what my love language is. I didn't know always what my love language was. But now I know through time and through thinking. But some have a love language of gift. I know you ladies, you like your jewellery. You like to look good, a lot of you. You know, a lot of ladies, I know you like to receive. But men, we like to receive too. And it's knowing what your partner likes. Do they like to receive gifts? Is that what tells them that you love them? Because I might not be someone that is bothered by gifts. So by you giving me a gift, that's not going to tell me that you love me, because that's not my love language. But then my love language may be time. If you give time to me, knowing that you could have done something for somebody else or for yourself, but actually you decided to come over and have a cup of tea with me. You decided to come and have a John Smith with me, or whatever it may be. You're giving me your time, and that's how I know that you love me. So some people have a love language of time. Maybe your partner likes time given to them. Then we have service. Maybe what will tell the person that you love is you doing something for them. Maybe by you cooking them dinner. It tells them that you love them. Maybe by washing up. It tells them that you love them. Get your hand in that greasy sink. You know, feel all the little bits of potato in the bottom of the sink. That's okay. You know, if that is what makes a person know that you love them. maybe take him a cup of tea to bed. He doesn't like that now. Or whatever, you know. But a love language, act of service. And obviously, touch. But not everybody likes touching. Not everybody likes to be touched, and that's fine. But some people do. Maybe by holding a hand, or a hand on the shoulder, or sometimes just place your hand on the back. Just simple things can show that you love that person that you're with. I'm going to be finishing soon. You've been seated very nicely. You've been very patient. But, you know, I used to work at a day centre with elderly people. And some of them had dementia. And there was this one particular couple that I remember, and I probably won't ever forget. The husband, he had dementia. And for the wife to get a little bit of a break from the husband, we decided that it would be good if he can come out 2 days a week and come and be around other people, just to give the wife a break. But he didn't want to come out the house without his wife. So the wife, this little lady, about 4 foot nothing to her, no meat upon her bones, frail little lady, used to come to the day centre twice a week with her husband to support him as he came to the day centre. And I used to talk to them and listen to the stories of mainly of the wife, really. And I found out they'd been married for 60 years. 60 years! How do you be married for 60 years? But they've been married for 60 years! And, you know, when I used to look at them, I used to see them sitting down like Toby and Debbie are now. And just like Toby and Debbie now, they're holding hands. You would see this couple in their 80s, sitting there, holding hands. You're like, that is very sweet. But then sometimes, I'll catch the man. He may have dementia, but he loved his wife. Just lean across. And he sometimes whispers something in their ear. And she goes, oh, stop it. This couple in their 80s. You're like, 80s, yes? 80s. They've been married 60 years. I mean, that is really something. And I wanted to know, what is it that has kept you married that long? Because I can tell you something, 60 years, man, you're going to have arguments. Huh? It's serious arguments, man. Yeah. How have you managed not to kick him out of the house? But one of the things that he said, they never went to bed on an argument. Before they shut off the light, they would always squash the argument. And that may not always be very practical, but I think what I got from that is very key. Just like I just spoke about earlier, love is forgiveness. That you have to forgive your partner very quickly. Just like we saw in the vows. To forgive. And finally, let me just say something somebody said to me a while ago, which actually I really caught hold of. When you have your arguments, and you're feeling so angry towards them, you've decided you're not going to cook them their food. You decided you're not going to fix their car. You decided because they've asked you to go pick up the children. You know what? You don't deserve it. You go pick up the children. I'm not going to do it. When you're so angry, and you're saying, I don't love you anymore. I wish I didn't marry you. What did I marry you for? You know what? That's just emotions. Something somebody said. Love doesn't change. When you've committed your life to somebody, and you've been together for so long, that love is not going to change if you keep hold of that love and you keep watering it. But what changes is emotion, so you can't go by your emotions. Like I was saying about words of affirmation, perhaps that somebody needs to hear that you love them every day, or nearly every day, but perhaps that's because of the argument that you had the previous day. So the next day they're going to wake up and they're going to maybe feel that that person doesn't love me because of what they've just said to me yesterday. or because how they acted towards me. No, they don't love me anymore. No. It's not that there's no love anymore. It's that the emotion had changed. There was anger. You were hurt. You were upset. But the love has remained.